Hello everyone, and welcome to my first series on YouTube, sharing how I play OpenTTD, and not just OpenTTD but the JGR patch pack, because that adds quite a lot of functionality to the vanilla game. So the aim of the series is just to share how I play. Hopefully you enjoy it. I think I have a particular style which I don't see that often out there on YouTube, so I wanted to share it, plus give me a bit of an interest in being able to share what I do, give me some motivation to record the videos and kind of get through a series. I kind of played OpenTTD, the original version. I've got the box here, back in the 90s. It was my favourite game whilst I was at school. Played many an hour on it, and yeah, it's fantastic to have an open version of it with a wide range of mods to kind of, you know, play the sandbox game in the way that you want, and yeah, hopefully enjoy it. So I'm not going to spend much time on the load screen. I've got a map that I've prepared, and I was just going to go straight into that. It is a map of the British Isles, and I'll zoom out and show you that. I can't exactly remember where I got this map from, so if anyone knows this, please share that in the YouTube comments. I've had a good Google around, see if I can find it again. I can't seem to find the thread either on Reddit or OpenTTD forums where this was made. I like this one particularly because it had a lot of interest. I like playing games, or particularly save games, in OpenTTD with a slight bit of realism. I think if I come up with a random map, I kind of lose interest a little bit. So this map, I think it was work in progress at the time. Again, because I can't find the latest or the thread where this was from. I don't know if this is the latest version of it. But yeah, it's in a slightly different orientation to what I'm used to. I'm kind of used to it being in kind of in a slightly opposite direction, so kind of rotated to the right 90 degrees. So I'm kind of used to that. So it will take me a while to get used to this orientation. But the best thing about this map, it's 4,000 blocks wide and 8,000 tall, means that it does give us quite a bit of space to play around in and build some objects and things like that. I think when this was being built, there are mainly towns and cities populated. I don't think there's any industries at this point in time populated, and what I would generally do would be to blast through the game playing mainly cargo games, those sorts of things, fares games, industry replacement games. I haven't really gone from start to finish and gone all the way through and done it properly, where I've done a game of passengers only, and that's the aim of today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into settings, and I'm going to put I can't remember what the name of the setting is, so we'll have a play around with it. I'm going to turn industries off, and hopefully we can find that primary industry, other industry. So we'll go to industries. So industry. What have we got here? Manual primary. None. Allow multiple industries per town. So I'm going to put that off, and I think that, I don't know if that means I can't make any. We've then got allow multiple similar industries per town, that's off. Company stations save industries attachment, so that's not on. What we'll do then is we'll put on the news and see where we get to with this. I'm hoping that we can turn the world generation to maybe they're funding only, So we can only fund industries. I'll just put that as other industries. So if we ever want to create them in the future, we've got that there. I think what we'll end up doing is kind of go through the settings as we find them. So yeah, so we've got 10 million in the bank, which is kind of cheated to do that. So I've increased my money by 10 million. If you don't do that, generally the start of the game is really slow. I'm not really bothered by that. What I'm trying to do is, the aim of this series and this map and this save game is to create something relatively realistic railways. Sooner or later we'll end up paying that back, so I have to remember that as an IOU, pay that back, and then we can sort that out. We haven't got Magic Bulldozer on, but what we'll end up doing is have town a kind of, there's an option to so the road layout is going to be, well, let's put that 3x3 because that's better, and we can turn the local authority attitude down to let's try lenient. We might turn that down a bit later. There's a lot of space in at the minute to do what we might want to do, so we're not too bad at the minute. The other setting that we have, and again I'm conscious that you're hopefully watching this to see some gameplay, what I wanted to do was look at another important setting that I'll have is, if I can spell, is, I can't spell, cargo distribution. So what we've got in here is down here, hopefully down here, cargo distribution. So at the minute for passengers it's asymmetric, so what that means is that you've got 100 going in one direction, definitely might not need 100 going in the opposite direction. Maybe not. Maybe what we might want to try is symmetric. So down here it says symmetric means that roughly the same number of passengers will go from station A to B as from B to A. Asymmetric means that arbitrary number of passengers can go in either direction. Manual is there's no cargo distribution. Asymmetric equal distribution means that cargo will be distributed such that each accepting station receives approximately the same amount of cargo in total. So that means that if I've got kind of a pickup station and that serves 10, it'll get equally distributed between the 10 stations. That might not be what we need. We might want it to go to a larger town in our particular one, or nearest. So again, that weights the nearest one. Would you want more to go to the nearest one? Ultimately what we want is something that is potentially symmetric. So if someone's going to work, they will end up coming back later on in the day. So I think those are the base settings that we've got, and yeah, I want to share how I start off games. What we've got here is kind of central London. Again, the bonus to this map is that there are multiple towns and cities within central London. A lot of the UK maps or European maps that you see has just like one big city of London, and it's hard to do anything realistic in the middle. But this looks quite good. What have we got over here in Purfleet? We've got quite a lot of malls. Must be a shopping district over here. And so what we've got is we've got a bit of room to play around in. And probably what I've done is have a look at this map. What I might want to do is do a bit of a basic, if you want to call it, underground metro system to start beefing up London, and then start serving some services out, probably on the West Coast Main Line, that sort of thing, out from probably Paddington out, kind of in this direction where my mouse cursor is going. So yeah. So with that, what we're going to have is somewhere over here somewhere there is going to be Paddington Station, or the equivalent of Paddington Station here, and like a little bit of space to put that. So what we're going to do is we're going to fund a town. We'll call it Paddington, and then probably what we're going to end up doing is building out a kind of an equivalent Paddington Station here, and then maybe start doing the, an equivalent of, shall we just call it the, I don't know, is it the district line, which serves Paddington down to the district line, which one of the lines goes down to Wimbledon, so down here to Wimbledon. and terminates there. So we'll have that up to Paddington. Yeah, and we'll try and get that in. I do know, like, at Earl's Court, which would be around, that's going to be around about here, the kind of the district line does split, so I don't know if we're going to be able to kind of put all of that in, but we'll try and get as much in as we can. And ideally then probably what we'll have is then the the district and circle line kind of going around here, around the city of London and back. So I think that's what we're going to do during this episode, and again I'm conscious that I don't want to drag this out too long, so I'm just having a look at the maps that we've got here from Paddington. So yeah, so I think we've got that around here. So Paddington looks to be kind of up here somewhere. Just trying to think about what Paddington's probably around this sort of area before you get to where's Cricklewood in London. Oh yeah, so you've got Westminster, you then got Paddington quite close, and then you've got Cricklewood up there. So maybe that's what we do, is we put Paddington probably over here somewhere, have a reasonable station, then allows us to wiggle through to maybe build another town here, Earl's Court, which will then split the stations out. So maybe let's give that a go. So let's do that up here. So we're going to have Paddington. Let's put it somewhere over here. So let's get started then. So we've got here, we've got some GRFs sorted. Well, let's change some of the colours in my. I definitely don't look like that, but we'll change that as we go along. Let's go dark blue, and do you want to do dark blue and red or dark blue and white? Let's pick a random face. Yeah, that'll do. And manager name. Again, Clark. That's me. That's my channel. And let's just leave it at the default name like that. So we've got some money in the bank. Let's bulldoze. Ooh, not allowed while in pause. So let's change that setting. I do like building in pause. Build while paused. All actions. Helps with that, particularly around when you're starting the game off and building onwards. It does help slightly. So what we'll end up doing then is we'll go into the towns and we can found town. So what we want the town name to be Paddington. Hopefully you can see that on the screen. Yes, you can. And we're going to go for random, and 3x3 grid is better. So I'm just looking at the map, how we want some space. We want some space between Westminster and Paddington. Or should the place be called Marylebone? That's a good question, isn't it? Let's call it Paddington. We know what we're doing then. So let's generate a new town. We can always change the name of it. So we're going to shove it down. That allows the space. Yeah, let's just put it there. So there we've got a town. And you see, spent a bit of money, but that's fine. We've funded ourselves some extra money that we can play with. So what we ultimately want to do then is have some kind of underground station. So let's see what trains we've got available. Oh, trains never expire is another one. Vehicles never expire is something that I always put on. Let's double check them. So we've got a large number of GRFs loaded. Can share that at a later date which ones we've got, and ultimately what we're looking for here is some metro sort of underground style. So we've got London Underground here. It's from the British Rail set, and trains, what train lines do we need? I think it's the third rail. So let's go down here. So we've got narrow gauge and we need standard gauge third rail construction, because this set expects, or this train expects, electricity on a third rail on the ground. So what we're going to end up doing then is creating a station here. So let's give ourselves some room to do that. What we're going to end up doing though is having some underground services. So the underground services will be, I think, 5 carriages long. Oops, not a sign. Always get those mixed up. So we'll go 5 along. Oops, and I don't want to use that tool. I always get that tool mixed up. So what that tool does, it allows you to kind of build railway track, kind of just dragging and dropping, whereas this one is the auto rail mode, where you've got all different options of dragging and dropping, but you know, it doesn't go off the path, the single line that you've got. So let's create 2 sets of platforms down here, which will be our underground station, and down here we've got some metro stations from the Dutch edition station pack, and I really like this pack. It is really good. So what we'll end up doing here is let's just create some basic ones to start with. Yeah, we'll make them look a bit better once we've got things started. So we've got fuses to do that. That's a good start. So let's some people might see this as cheating or whatever, but like that's the kind of not the style of gameplay that I'm in. It penalises you really badly for tearing down trees and that sort of thing. I guess I have got rid of a couple of houses and things, but it really penalises you, and then all you end up doing is just spamming a load of trees, which then really doesn't give you anything back in return. Yeah, it's quite bad in that sense. So what we'll end up doing then is, if we've got 5 for metro stations or kind of tubes, we want longer trains for maybe longer services. So as it's going to be quite a large terminus station, we want enough tracks on here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 might be enough to start with. And what we'll end up doing, let's just use the Dutch station pack. We'll drag and drop on this, and we'll just have some basic platforms to start with, and we'll sort it out later in something with a bit of tile. Island platforms. Let's just do some island platforms. It's 2. So I just drag those along there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the buffers don't count towards the available train length. The train won't go into that part of the station. So it is a bit for sure. But there's this over here. Okay, so we'll tidy that up later, I'm sure. So we've got Paddington. We're going to come down here to Fulham and then go over the river down to Wimbledon. It's quite a nice patch down here in Wimbledon for that. So I think it's a 3x3 grid here. So what we'll end up doing then is it's going to be a 2-track station, and it's going to, let's try and think, trying to mimic underground as much as I can, but some of it will be over as a kind of a metro service. So let's want as close to the centre as possible. So I think what we'll do here is we'll get rid of those buildings there. They'll end up not liking us, but that's fine. And again, because we are going to try and follow a kind of a metro style, ultimately what we're going to end up doing then is town road is build down and then tunnel through. So in here what we're going to do is we're going to build I can select the right thing, can build another metro station. Again, we'll probably tidy these up, so it's going to be 2 tracks, length 5. Boom. I don't want that in there. That looks about right because of the dimension. We're going to have to get rid of this house because that's where a tunnel's going to be. Got that like that. Okay, it's Wimbledon. And we're going to do a bit of a spread station just to help our catchment area to start with, and place a bus station in the middle. No suitable road, because we need to convert it to concrete road. So the problem is, what I've done is I've used a GRF which has different road types with different speed restrictions. So on this one is a concrete road, as you can see by the blocks. And I was trying to build a bus station on the town road, which is a different construction. So I have to select that one and then place that here. And if I select control when I'm placing, it gives me the option to join up the station. Again, some people think that's a bit of cheating and those sorts of things, but we're playing with the way the game is on spread stations on that. What you might want to do is just help the town create, and I'm going to put town road construction where I'm building, because in a few months, once I've unpaused the game, that the town will generate itself and replace the roads. I think that's what happens, so we'll give that a go. So I'm just going to leave that there for now, and I'm going to go across here, and we're going to do the same over here in Fulham. So this looks quite good. We've got a bit of a space here, so naturally what I'm going to do is press X. It'll turn some transparency options in, and I always do it one step away from the road, because it gives you an option for a house. So I'm going to get rid of this. Actually, let me press shift to kind of half cancel out that one. This isn't 3x3, that's 3x3. So what we're going to do is tidy that up a bit, just help the town along. Because again, the 3x3 grid is the best way that the town decides to expand, and we'll try and do 3x3 as much as we can. And again, we'll go into all of these and tidy these up as we go along. So the middle of the town's there, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll kind of break that rule and go down there. So I like that road there, so I'm just going to leave that there. That gives us 5, the option there, so we're going to go 5. Okay, that's 5 there. And I think this patch pack uses channels, and I can't remember what the option is for channels, so we've got that there. Can't remember. Let's have a quick Google on the second screen. So there is something called channels, and the channel patch allows you to tunnel under bodies of water. Okay, and I can't remember how you do it. So it's a good example. So here we've got I can't remember what the option is. There was an option like where you, let's just try it out as an experiment. If I click that there, no, there's nothing there. Let's have a quick look. Channels. off by default by the looks of it. Okay, so let's settings, channels, tunnels, show tunnels, use owner's colours for bridges and tunnels off, enable signals on, allow constructions of tunnels underwater, that's on. Okay, so it looks, is that because this, let's have a look. So what's the height of this? That's height 2, that's height 1, so I don't think I can go down any further. I thought the tunnels would allow me to go down underneath there. That's interesting. So I have to look into that again. If you've got any problems with that, let's have a think. So that works fine. Maybe I need to put something under there. No. Okay. Well, I'll have a play around with that as we go. Ultimately, what I want to do is try and keep that as a road. Maybe we do a road bridge just over this. Let's do a road bridge over there. Construction, we want to be town. Viaduct. To me that always looks reasonably okay, so let's go back to a third rail. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to put this in as a temporary solution. Oh, I don't like the look of that bridge. Let's go back to a viaduct. What's that one? Ooh, no, that looks thin. Suspension monorail. Brick road tunnel? Nope. It's the usual. I'm spending quite a bit of money here, aren't I? Let's go viaduct. That always looks good. So I'm going to see how to do the tunnels then. Because, yeah, that should be there. So let's level out land again. I've got this out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build, let's say, 3 lots of grid out. And that'll be our kind of standard or rule, or however you want to call it, where we're going to allow building around, and then we're going to just have a tunnel through. I need to think of the. I need to find the GRF which has nicer tunnels as well. So we'll come up for a bit now, just for this time, and then we'll go across. We might add, there's quite a bit of gap there, isn't there? We might add a little bit of a town here or something, just to give us something between Fulham and Wimbledon. Having a quick look at the map, seeing what's between Fulham and Wimbledon. I guess it's Putney. We've got Richmond, which is over there. Maybe we create Putney. So let's create a map. So put a sign there to say Putney. Maybe when we're feeling a bit more flush. We know we did want to create a Earl's Court area, didn't we? Which kind of fits around here. That sort of area. So I think what we're going to do is let's do that now, and we can Ultimately what we want to do is have this line coming up this way, up to here a little bit, and then going into Earl's Court in the kind of that way, and then those tube trains can go over that way. I think so. I think that's a good place for Earl's Court. It gives you a gap between Earl's Court and Paddington. I know it kind of goes through Kensington and places. But we'll try and maybe simulate that through another tube line underneath here and up that way to the City of London. Maybe what we should have done is use the plan list. Maybe we'll use that next time. That's quite a good option here. So I think where we're going to go Earl's Court about here, I think. So let's do that now. Town. We'll do it the same. We'll do a new town. It's going to be medium, I think. Similar size. What did Paddington came about same size. There we go. New town, and what do we think? It's quite close to Fulham. Need a bit of space. Let's just do it there. Okay, and we've got some space to go around, and then maybe here is where it all comes together. So what we'll end up doing then is we've got the Fulham bit. Am I going to be rude and delete quite a lot of this? I think so. And then the town will build around us, right? So ultimately what we want is one line. Let's just draw it for now. We want one line coming this way, and we want a line here. Looks about right, so which means that's going to be quite a tight curve. So what we want is maybe we do the 5 further along. Keep clicking that. I need to figure out where to turn it off. So they're going to come up here to be like there. Ultimately, I don't like turns like that, so I'm going to give it. So I'll give it. I'm going to try and avoid a single turn like that on the map. Hold me to it if I diverge from that rule. Okay, so we'll go tunnel there, tunnel there. And I tend to like a straight before then going into a station. Okay, so let's do it in the opposite way around this time. So let's build the bus station. Let's do that here. Build a separate station, and make sure it's called Earl's Court then. Otherwise, down here it might be called, the station might be called something else if it feels if it's not in the centre. So we're going to do again 5 there. Oops, forgot that. Yes, I forgot to hit Control. So to match it with Earl's Court. And while we're here, let's do. So press Q to go to the build down tool. Again, you can see the town doesn't like us because it's gone red. Oh well, it'll start liking us once we've started delivering cargo. I'm sure of it. So we've got that there. That's that. Put that in there just for. Oh, I've done it again, haven't I? We'll start using the keybinds, I think. So A is the keybind for that. So we've got down to Fulham, we've got Earl's Court, and then there's then going to be a line going up from here up to Paddington. So let's follow our rule that we did before. So we're going to have that as A. Do I need to remind myself? We're then going to go just going to go 2 that way. Again, you're going to have to remind me to do all of these. That gives us the opportunity to have a tunnel. So that goes up 1, and down 1. So this is 1 higher than elsewhere. So what we might want to do, can we do that here? Let's try. So if I click R to remove, let's remove those. See if we can build down again. Because I guess the underground is at different levels. Yep, there we go. So now this platform and that platform is at the same level. So I think let's just do something boring with like straight and then turn. So unfortunately we can't do turns in tunnels or corners. So we need to kind of tunnel down to find where we're going to come out. I think we need to tunnel down to there just to allow us to have that nice corner. So let's go. So we go down. That works out quite nicely. So let me know in the comments if you like this style of gameplay. Might not be for everyone's taste. Hopefully enjoy it, and you can see how we get on with this. So we've got that there, and that's going to be a terminus. So I guess we should put a buffer stop. Can we put a buffer stop? Because that's going to be a... Actually, let's move these up 1. That's what we're going to do. We're going to move them up 1, which allows me to have a... I guess, does it matter if you're not going to be able to see them? What we will need though is a slight junction here to allow trains to turn, because there'll be a train coming in here. Again, you can't put those junctions in. So ultimately what we want that one to come down there. That'd be helpful. So I'm trying to think of if a train's coming down here, and so it goes into there, we then have a train. What we want to do is unblock that train as soon as we can to come out if there's another one coming in the opposite direction. So I think that feels like that. And then we're going to have one there for the signal. We're going to have a change it to that signal, which does mean that things can pass in the opposite direction. And then we'll do other signals. Luckily on this version we've got we have in the patch we have signals in tunnels, so throughout the tunnel there'll be signals placed at equal distances just to help. Hopefully we're doing a good job of using control and drag to, so you can see here, look, there's signals on the bridge. Does mean then the signal's there just before I like that, but I guess it's a means to an end. We get to the end at Wimbledon. I guess what we'd like to do is I guess that was supposed, I guess, does that go up there? Again, I'm not the eminent expert on how all of these kind of go together. It's everything on Google Satellite to help us see if we can see any trains. So there seems to be a junction going in. where trains can go in opposite sides. Don't know if that means then there are trains from Paddington to Wimbledon, or it's different services and people change at Earl's Court. So there's like ones from central London go down to Wimbledon, and people at Earl's Court then change out to either Ealing or Richmond. But anyway, I think what we'll do is we'll with not trying to complicate things too much, what we'll end up doing is having, let's put a junction here. No, that doesn't look particularly pretty. So if someone's coming here, they would go there and around. They would block that anyway, so we'd need a signal there. We need a signal there and a signal there. So these signals, these path signals, will reserve the path ahead for trains. Might mean though that we would want to make sure that there isn't a block in the tunnel, because if that's red, then a train could come around here and block that. Trying to think if there was an easier way. I guess that could be a bridge. That could be a bridge over there. It's probably an easier way to do it, isn't it? So let's do that now before we forget what we're going to do. So using control to remove, and that'll allow us to go down. On the train line we go there, then have a bridge, so B for a bridge. We're ending up using viaduct, they look reasonably okay. That can go around there. So I don't need that as an option. We can then do signals like that. Doesn't mean we might have a block, so that's one tile tooth. It's only 2 tile length, but I guess that's better. If a train's coming this way and wants to go there, that's good. And I guess that would also be a bridge then, wouldn't it? I'm just thinking of it in the future just to help lay it out now. Viaduct, because this would then be a natural bend round to there. Which again would be a kind of blocking it. So maybe we have to move these back once we start having a... There you go. I think I'm happy with that. Looks a bit better. Yeah, I think it does. Any suggestions of what could have been done differently? Let's turn bridges off just to make sure. Yeah, I've put that in the wrong way. So you can see the station there now. So there we go. So I think we've definitely created our first route. Did I don't think it's just a station. So there, I couldn't. So when I went, just to explain, I was going here to create a spread station, and it's not liking it. So I must have exceeded the default station spread. So what's that? 15. So let's go in the settings. Station spread 12 tiles. So let's change that to 50. Let's change that to 20. Just allows you to have more, and I think I'm going to try and create eye candy style. I'm not the best at that, but As you can probably tell, some of it is a little bit basic for what I've been doing, but it's going to get there. I'm going to learn as we go along. I make an effort, but it's not perfect. So I think, just looking at the time, we've been on here for 3/4 of an hour now, so I'm going to end the video here, the first episode. So we've got the line ready. Let's take all of the transparency settings off. So we've got a line here that's mimicking the district line, or the green line in London Underground as much as we can. So it goes from Paddington through Earl's Court, Fulham. We've identified that we might want to build Putney, found Putney here like we did with Earl's Court, might do that next time. And we've got Wimbledon. Ultimately what we need down here is a depot of some sorts for the tube trains, because ultimately what we don't want is we don't want them to be stuck or whatever at the end. So we're going to have multiple services down here running through a timetable, and what we don't want is we don't want them to get stuck. We want them to ultimately wait slightly at a depot, which would be down here. Now I'm looking at what is there at Wimbledon, just to see if that there is a tube depot of sorts. I can't see it, so maybe this isn't the place where they do it in real life. Oh, they've got quite a large number of stations. Oh, there's a Wimbledon rail depot on Google Maps. Yeah, there does seem to be a little... Oh, there it is. Wimbledon sidings. So actually Wimbledon sidings, it looks to be more this side. Over here kind of comes up, and before it then turns to go to Putney and the like. There is a big... I've lost it now. There's a big... sidings. So I think that's what we... Oh yeah, sidings. So that's got a mix of... Oh no, that's train. That looks like trains at... Doesn't look like underground trains. If I can go to a... do a 3D look. So yeah, it doesn't look like... So those Wimbledon sidings doesn't look as though it's... No, again, please tell me if I'm wrong. Doesn't look like underground services. So maybe the underground go anywhere. Go somewhere else. But anyway, I'm going to do that next time out. We'll create the depot, and then from there we've got somewhere to trigger our trains down this little line, and then we can start earning some money. So so thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the first episode of the series, and without sounding too much like someone on YouTube, please like the video, please share it. That'll help other people find it. Let's not share it. We can share it. Feel free to share it as well. But like and subscribe. That'll help to put this in impressions for other people. I appreciate that. I'm sure they would do as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.